first one is like, I want something that's going to be cool. It's going to look kind of cool. And it's an expression of, something important to yourself or somebody else or memorial or whatever. And then, like, having so many, it's got to point out, I like everything about it. Like, the whole process of, like, coming up with an idea and the artist, like, taking your idea. I like the systematic and the dogmatic and the methodical approach to all of it, You get to do something that's really cool. It's very, like, laid out how it's going to go. And it's a huge process. Like, it's not a light undertaking at all. And I mean, everything from like the actual getting tattooed, like the feeling, it feels cool. It hurts, but it's also kind of a good hurt.
Yeah.
And the healing, getting to watch your body like heal itself after the fact, and like even the annoying itching. Like it's all just a really cool process. Like, and until you have one or two or three or whatever, like. That first one is always just to be cool or whatever. And after that, it's like, man, this is, I kind of like everything about this. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't get so many.
I think I would agree, except for being the meaningful tattoo for the first time. I think mine was just...
What was your first tattoo?
It's the Buffalo Nickel with the L side.
That was really
I just
cool.
thought it was cool. I mean, I don't know that it necessarily had any meaning. What would you say is your favorite part of the whole process? Because I was just thinking about that when you were answering.
I really, honestly, like, I like the first initial, like, needle touch. Like, that first initial, just like, you built up to it, you got the idea, it's the appointment's there, if it's an area there's hair, they shave it off, it's very clean, and it's like, and a lot of times, even if they're friends of mine, like even with Fred, like every time he's tattooed me, he just goes, "You ready?"
I still jump, like twitch a little bit, and not when the needle hits first, but when their hand hits you. They say ready, and then the hand hits you. Always, every time I twitch.
Like getting it, like skinning yourself with the part of your scab, like getting a scab on your knee, but like very, very slowly, like molecule by molecule.
I had somebody tell me right before I got my first one, they were like, it feels like bee stings. And I'm like, well, shit, I don't want to have any part of it. I mean, no, it doesn't, it feels like a tattoo. Like somebody asked me that the other day, and I sat there and racked my brain. I can't explain it at all. It feels like a tattoo.
My first tattoo was a mom tattoo that each of my siblings have, and myself, and so it actually made my dad cry. He really liked it, and I mean it was, it's easily hidden. It's not like anything that he would worry would torment my future or anything, but parents aren't really catching up, but they don't have to. It's just, that wasn't really, I mean, for the most part, like, you grew up with good parents going to church and shit like that, and going to a private school, whatever. I mean, it's not gonna, 9 times out of 10, that's not really their thing, but yeah, you find your ways to explain it. My dad thought this was stupid, and I mean, it is kind of stupid, but I love it.
Those are some of the best tattoos.
I know.
I have dumb tattoos too. I have I got several. I've got an eyeball on my ankle. It's like crying onto like a dotted line. I've also got a big humpback whale with pink angel wings tattooed on my calf, which actually is a really good looking tattoo. It's ridiculous. People look at some of mine and they're like, that looks dumb as shit. Like, why would you have that on your body forever? I'm like, well, first of all, it's important to me. And second of all, it's not some crap somebody stuck up on a wall that every other biker in town is like, going to tattoo on themselves. Like, this is something original that somebody I know and hung out with, and a friend of mine drew up with their own hand. Like, this is something I would hang on my wall. Why not carry it around on my body all the time? A lot of my arms have family stuff. I've got the grandfather and the great uncle, two like huge role models in my life tattooed on me. I've got my dog Nico, her mother Lizzie, who just recently died. That's the most recent one.
Mm-hmm.
I got her name tattooed on me. Like, I barely escaped death when I was 3. Got a tattoo that kind of like, so they're all very, if anything on my arm, for the most part, it's going to be very personal to me. So in teaching, you know, I mean, every once in a while one might peek out from underneath, and like people are curious, but you know, every job I've had after that has been pretty much open to it. So you know, I mean, it's just, and people ask all the time. My customers ask all the time, you know, like, where do you get it done? You know, I mean, everything from, you know, 18, 19, 20-year-old people to like, you know, grown-ups who have kids that are in college. Like, they're like, oh, that's so cool, you know, I got my first one. Like, you know, it's just kind of like, almost like connectivity of people. It's in a lot of situations, you kind of have to really not go out of your way, but make sure, and you know, if you're a nice person, you're gonna be nice anyway. But like, be courteous, be who you are anyway, to kind of remove that stigma of just like, oh, only bikers and like miscreants and losers have tattoos.
Yeah,
And
so
like,
it
no,
has to be proven that it's not like an invalidation of your personality.
I think it's come around more to now as being more of an art form than it was like a status of rebellion, you know, as it was at one point. You know, and really now, I mean, whether this is a good thing or not, you know, in a lot of places, you know, how many tattoos you have, or you know, how much coverage you have and everything is almost a status symbol. It's becoming much more acceptable. Yeah.
It's just skin.
Yeah.
Goes underground eventually.
Well,